Bergamo, courtesy of a late leveller that kept their hopes alive. Ladea were unable to carry that momentum through the shootout, where fine margins and missed chances ended their pursuit of silverware. It was a physically and emotionally draining evening, particularly given how close they came to booking a place in the final, and the sense around the club now is one of frustration and immediate recovery rather than reflection. That defeat also compounds a wider concern in the league, with Atalanta still battling to stay in contention for European qualification. Drop points in recent weeks have left little room for error, and every remaining fixture now feels increasingly significant as the season approaches its conclusion. For Cagliari, the stakes are entirely different but no less urgent. Their form has dipped at a crucial stage of the season, and with the relegation fight tightening, points at home are becoming vital rather than optional. They will see this as an opportunity to capitalise on any lingering fatigue or disappointment in the Atalanta camp. As ever at this stage of the season, momentum can shift quickly, and both sides arrive fully aware of the importance of a good result today. So the team news: Fabio Pisane, the Cagliari manager, names Elia Caprile in goal, a back four of Adam Aubert on the left, Juan Rodriguez and Yerry Mina at centre-back, with Zé Pedro at right-back. Michael Adopo, Gianluca Gaetano and Alessandro Diola, the captain, play in central midfield, behind Michael Folorencio, who's joined up front by Paul Mendy on the left and Sebastiano Esposito on the right. As for the bench for Cagliari, Alan Sherry, Giuseppe Ciocci, Marco Palestra, Semir Kilichoi, Othniel Rattenink, Andrea Bellotti, Augustine Albarracin, Alberto De Sena, Ibrahim Sulemana, Joseph Lizetta, Gabriele Zappa, Gennaro Barelli and Yael Treppi. So that's your Cagliari lineup for today's match. The visitors, Atalanta, named Marco Canasecci in goal. A back three of Sead Kolasinac, who's playing left centre-back, Beret Jimsiti in the middle, and Giorgio Scalvini at right centre-back. David Zappacosta plays left wing-back with Mario Pasalic and Martin Derun in the middle. Derun, the captain, of course, too, with Raul Bellanova at right wing-back. Three up top, Giacomo Raspadori, Gianluca Scamacca and Charles de Catalera. So that's your starting 11 for Atalanta. Their bench looks like this: Piotr Pardel, Marcos Fortiello, Odilon Casuno, Isaac Hien, Michel Becker, Yunus Musa, Kamaldeen Sulemana, Lazar Samadzic, Edison, Relia Ubic, Nikola Zalewski, Honest Ahino and Nikola Kristovic. So they're your teams for today's match. The referee, Gianluca Sacchi, leads the players out onto the field of play, joined of course by his assistants Valerio Vecchi and Davide Mora, the fourth official Davide Di Marco. And well, as the players come out, Cagliari of course in their famous red and royal blue, that half and half shirt with their dark navy shorts and socks. Atalanta in their chain strip, white with blue stripes which stop at the top of the chest region. So that's how the teams will line up for this one. They're in front of the big A, the Serie A logo, out on the centre of the field. This stadium on a big night does tend to fill up. The Sardinia Arena, 16,416 its capacity, was full entirely last time out. In fact, 4 seats in the whole stadium empty when they played on the 11th of April against Cremonense. The average this season, 15,981. That's 97% of the capacity here in Sardinia. But today, well, it looks entirely full as the players pass one another for their handshakes. We're moments away from kick-off between Cagliari and Atalanta. Cagliari in 16th in the league table on 33 points, 5 ahead of Cremonense in the drop zone. And as for Atalanta, they're in 7th, but 61 points for both Como in 5th and Roma in 6th. Has to be their target to look for any sort of European football heading into next season. Behind them are Bologna. They're on 48 points and have played an extra match. So this game really crucial for Atalanta in their pursuits of 5th or 6th place in Como or Roma. If Cagliari look ahead, well, Fiorentina, a place above them in 15th, they're on 37 points. So a win for Cagliari would put them a point behind the Giants, who looked for much of the season like they might just face the drop. So one more time through your team news. Caprile in goal, a back four of Obet, Rodriguez, Mina and Pedro. Diola the captain, Gaetano and Dopo in midfield. Folorencio in central attacking midfield behind Mendy and Esposito. That's your Cagliari lineup for Fabio Pisane. And as for Atalanta and Rafael Palladino, Koneshi in goal, a back three of Kolasinac, Jimshi and Shalvini. Bellanova and Zappacosta at wing back with Pasalic and Martin Derun in central midfield. Raspadori takes the left, De Ketelare takes the right, behind Gianluca Scamacca, the lone striker for Atalanta. The team in 7th in the league table. As the players now form their final huddles, they ready themselves for kick-off. Referee Gianluca Sacchi has the ball on the spot ready. He's wearing his luminous yellow strip today with black shorts and black socks. There is a big section behind the goal currently occupied by the Atalanta goalkeeper, which is currently completely empty. Cameras focus in on Gianluca Scamacca, man formerly of West Ham, joined in 2023 for £21.5 million. Europa League top goal scorer in 2023-2024. He's looking to help his team back into that competition, or if not the Champions League, but they desperately need the win here. It'll be Atalanta to get us underway. It's Cagliari versus Atalanta. We've got full live audio commentary on the way. So Atalanta and Scamacca to get us underway. They play the ball straight back into midfield, and it's pumped up and long down the left-hand side. Raspadori can't win the header, and here it is with Cagliari in the centre of the park with Folorencio. He looks out to his left and finds Mendy. Ball in towards the box, headed down and headed in. What a start this is for Cagliari. 17 seconds on the clock. They found the opener. A big downwards header by Paul Mendy inside the 6-yard box. Give the team down in 16th in the league table the lead after 17 seconds. Atalanta, they don't know what's hit them. Paul Mendy, the 19-year-old from Senegal, with an opener, beating Zappacosta to the header. It's down into the bottom corner of Elia Capilla's goal. And Cagliari, against all odds, hold the lead inside the opening minute. The ball out on wide with Michel Adopo, played in onto the head of Paul Mendy, who just directed it goalwards. Capilla slipped actually as he tried to make the save, but Mendy made no mistake with the header. And after just 17 seconds, it's Cagliari 1, Atalanta 0. And the team who were knocked out of the Coppa Italia on penalties suffer more heartbreak early on here on their visit to Sardinia. Cagliari 1, Atalanta 0. Mendy on the score sheet already, and Atalanta have a player down just outside the centre circle receiving some treatment. Physios and medics surround them. Looks potentially like a torn groin. That's the region they're seeing to. But Mendy, my word, what a way to start the game. No previous goals for Atalanta. First career goal for the youngster from Senegal who came through the youth academy. He's only played a handful of games against Inter, Cremonese, Sassuolo and Napoli. This his first start, and 17 seconds into it, he finds himself on the score sheet, and he wheeled away to those home supporters and asked for a bit more noise from them. Fabio Pisane, who put him in the starting lineup, well, that decision already justified. It was Zappacosta that was down. He's back up onto his feet, walking off the field of play. Head in hands from Rafael Palladino, the head coach of Atalanta. And it is the side of Zappacosta that's being seen to, but he is being able to leave the field of play successfully, and he seems to be okay. Cagliari defending now as Atalanta get us back underway. Ball in the centre of the park with Jimsiti, who looks to his left where Kolasinac is waiting. Kolasinac brings it under control and finds Zappacosta, the man who was injured just a second ago. He's back on the field of play now, and he's given the ball away inside the Cagliari half. Up to Mendy it goes, who scored the opener, but he gives the ball away just outside the Atalanta box, and the white shirts look to come forward, but nothing comes as the attack. This pitch currently half in shade, half in the light, and when that ball goes into the shade, just seems to have a bit more of a zip on it. Perhaps a player slightly misjudging their passes into that section. And they have the ball at the back, Atalanta, with Kolasinac, who brings it down with his side foot and plays it forward to captain Marten de Roon of the Netherlands, who plays it back inside this time to Jumici, and there's no intensity at all from Atalanta, who finally play the ball down the left to Zappacosta, who looks straight back to Kolasinac again. And Cagliari, as you might imagine, given their league position, are just sat back with every single player behind the ball, and Atalanta are being freely allowed to pass it around inside their own half. Here's Kolasinac, forward this time to Zappacosta, who can finally bring it into the Cagliari half. Zappacosta looks forward, but it's blocked away by Alessandro Diola, who puts it out of play for a throw-in to Atalanta on that far side. And Fabio Piseni, the Cagliari manager, just issues some directions as his team win the ball back. He wants to see them pressing slightly further forward. And they pass the ball up and into the Atalanta half. Here's Adopo, who looks long towards Paul Mendy, sprinting towards it, but that rolls out of play for a goal kick to Marco Kaneshi. And Kaneshi will take his time with this one as he edges forward, plays it down the left to Kolasinac. Kolasinac this time able to play it forward to Raspadori. Back it goes to Kaneshi again though, and Atalanta are really struggling to break down this pressing from Cagliari as they look long down the left hand side. It's brought down by Zappacosta inside his own half, and he's forced backwards all the way to Kolasinac again. This time, place switched to Scalvini, who looks forward. And Atalanta now striding towards goalkeeper Capri, who will come out and easily collect that one. And he'll just roll it around inside the edge of his box with his boots before eventually he decides to pick it up and get play back underway. Ball played long by Cagliari, won back by Atalanta just inside the halfway line. And it's flicked back up into the air, bobbles around, and that header eventually won by De Catalera, but he gives it straight away, and Cagliari thought they were in down the right-hand side. Esposito it was sprinting through, but Kaneshi in the sticks, able to come out and collect that one with ease. Here's Scalvini, back inside to Jumici. He looks forward to de Roon, who plays the ball straight back to him, and Scalvini receives it on the left-hand side under some pressure. Forward it goes now to Bellanova, who looks backwards, and the ball takes a deflection and will go straight out of play for a corner to Cagliari. The first of the match. He'll be taken over on the far side, as they see it, the right. And an opportunity inside 10 minutes to get a second from this corner. Esposito went over to take it, but now he's left it. Zepedro, the Portuguese right back, stands over it. He is left-footed as the ball comes in towards the centre of the box. It's chested down, bobbles around, flicked goalwards, good save, and stabbed in at the second attempt. And Cagliari have a second. It was a good save from Kaneshi as the ball was stabbed goalwards, but out it came. And it found the back of the net at the second attempt. Bodies surrounding the goalkeeper. Kaneshi, who was on the floor, he had no chance of getting back up. And after 8 minutes, it's Cagliari 2, Atalanta 0. The goal scorer once again, Paul Mendy. The 19-year-old who hadn't scored for Cagliari before today has his second inside 10 minutes of his first start. The initial shot came in, it bobbled around after the save from Kineshi on the edge of the 6-yard box, and Paul Mendy somehow got a boot to it and flicked it up and off the back of Bellanova and into the bottom right-hand corner of the net, deflected up and in. And Marco Kineshi, who made a marvellous save seconds before, couldn't get back up onto his feet quick enough. And Cagliari, who are in a relegation battle at the bottom, find themselves 2 goals ahead of Atalanta, who are challenging for European football again. Well, no one would have expected this. And Atalanta get play back underway as they look forward. But the ball rolls straight through to Elia Capil. And here come Cagliari once more. Well, Atalanta were knocked out of the Coppa Italia in midweek on penalties. And clearly, the emotions from that have hampered their ability to play early on here. They haven't turned up at all. And Paul Mendy, the 19-year-old, is absolutely loving this home stadium on his first full start. He's got 2 in the opening 10 minutes. And here come Atalanta trying to play out from the back. Over on the left-hand side with Zappacosta, who plays it back to Kolasinac and Zimisti. I'm not sure Atalanta have had more than 3 or 4 touches inside the Cagliari half, in fact, as Yerry Mina's gone down holding his nose. Not sure quite what happened there. Ball's in play. Atalanta knocked it inside. It's off the ball on the halfway line, coming together with Gianluca Scamacca. And Yerry Mina is down holding his face after an off-the-ball incident. I'm sure the referee will be wondering what happened there. Well, Raffaello Palladino is mighty frustrated on the sidelines. His side 2 goals down inside 10 minutes. And play's paused here as the referee tries to figure out quite what happened. Lots of arguing. Darun, the Atalanta captain, comes over now. Scamacca getting a telling off. Darun just calming the situation down as Gianluca Sacchi is surrounded by almost every single player on the pitch here. He's got a real decision to make in this one. Scamacca and Yerry Mina now being told off their incident on the centre of the park, but nothing comes of it in the end. Gianluca Sacchi happy to just give them a telling off and to keep the cards in the pocket, and play can continue at the back for Atalanta, who look to the right with Scalvini. Scalvini to Bellanova. Scalvini again, and finally they're finding some pockets here, Atalanta, as Darun looks long down the right hand side, and Elia Capil way off his goal, unable to come out and see it out for the goal kick. Well, Atalanta haven't had much luck going long early on here. It seems that that's their tactic and they're going to go with it regardless. Cagliari 2 goals up, having had just 28% of the ball. They've had 3 shots though. Atalanta yet to record one at all. And it's Cagliari who look long and win the ball on the halfway line. To the left they go, where Diola, the captain, waits. He knocks the ball inside and makes a run forward as the ball lands at the feet of Mendy, who loses it this time, and Atalanta look to play out from the back. Can't do so, but can win a throw-in right in front of Fabio Pisana, their manager. So Cagliari have some defending to do at last, as that throw-in is taken. Back to Jimsiti. Here's Kolasinac to Jimsiti again. All the red and blue shirts behind the ball as Kolasinac picks it up again over on the left-hand side. He plays it to Zappacosta on the touchline. Zappacosta goes backwards again to Jimsiti. And Atalanta look absolutely clueless here as they look to try and play the ball out from the back. Goalkeeper Kineshi looks long down the right-hand side but can only put it out of play. And Cagliari, well, they've got a throw-in in front of Pisane once again. On this near side, the left. Ball in the hands of Adam Ober, the Slovakian, 23 years old. He plays it inside to Mendy, who looks to switch the play and finds Adopo, who put the ball superbly on his head for the opener. And Cagliari will take their turn of having some possession as they knock it back to their centre half. Here's Ober looking long and forward, player down off the ball there. That's Folorunsho, who was bundled to the ground, and Atalanta win the ball back, no foul, says Gianluca Sacchi. This time he has stopped play, and that's because Yeremin Mina has gone down again under a tackle from Scamacca. Once again he's holding his head, and he's very frustrated, Mina, and that's because Scamacca has just elbowed him between the eyes. They were both going for the ball, both had eyes on the ball, but Scamacca's elbows came up to shoulder height, and he's twisted his body and caught him right in the face there, and Scamacca seems frustrated, but it will be a free kick to Cagliari with 15 minutes gone. They are 2 goals up against Atalanta, who are 9 places above them in the league table. So Cagliari now on 36 points as Atalanta go forward, and Cagliari able to head it away and out of play. They are just a point behind Fiorentina. They've won a game less than them, in fact. 9 wins it will be for Cagliari if they can hold on to this result. 9 draws and 16 losses compared to 13 draws and 13 losses for the Giants Fiorentina. They're now within 3 points of Genoa as well, Cagliari. But it's Atalanta with the ball, they hook it forward. Cagliari win it back on the halfway line. Ball played forward towards Folorunsho, who can bring it under control, and it's smashed out of play by Kolasinac there, just as things started to look dangerous. Folorunsho running through on goal. Kolasinac had half an opening to make a tackle and smashed that ball straight out of play for a throw-in, parallel with the penalty spot for the home side. And it will be Obert to take it, the Slovakian. He's 23 years old, making his 32nd appearance this season. And Atalanta win that throw-in. They have a player shoved to the floor, and it will be a free kick. It was Folorunsho who went shoulder to shoulder with Scalvini, but he pushed him completely off the ball. And Gianluca Sacchi, who's been busy early on here, says that that's a free kick. And it will be Marco Canesci, who makes his 35th appearance of the season. The 25-year-old Italian goalkeeper who will take this one in this famous old stadium here in Sardinia. He looks long, but Cagliari win the initial header, and they win the ball on the second attempt too. Forward it goes, this time to Mendy, as Esposito is bundled to the ground, the Italian. He's got 9 appearances on the season, 32 in fact, 9 goals, 6 assists, and 6 goals and 3 assists. As they have the ball at the back with Zepedro, forward to Michel Adopo. Adopo looks forward, but that ball straight out of play on the far side. And it will be an Atalanta throw-in. And this game really has lacked any flow. Neither team has been able to build momentum. Cagliari doing a superb job of stopping the momentum that Atalanta build. And Atalanta have only had a handful of touches in the opposition half. They're forced backwards again to Scalvini. Across to Cimsiti. Here's Kolasinac. And Pasalic, who finally can bring the ball into the Cagliari half, but immediately he loses it, and the hosts come forward, looking towards the halfway line, and they're able to play it back to Adopo, who can bring it forward even further, but he loses it on the halfway line, and Atalanta look long towards Scamacca, but miss out immediately. And Cagliari are doing a superb job of just staying deep and waiting for the mistakes from Atalanta. Here's Elia Caprile, wearing his light blue strip, the goalkeeper. He looks long, can't find the header, Folorunsho. And Atalanta have it on the halfway line with Zappacosta, who looks to turn inside but has to play the ball back once again to Kolasinac. And there's no urgency at all from the side wearing white today. They bring it forward down the right to Bellanova. Bellanova looks forward to Scamacca. This time he is able to bring it under control, and this time he's able to make a pass to Palasic. Here's Darun looking forward towards Raspadori, who can't control that one, and out of play it goes for a goal kick. But finally Atalanta building some attacking momentum inside the opposition half. It's took them 18 minutes to really put a cross into the box. They're still yet to record a shot. Technically they've had 2 off target. I'm not really sure you can count them, given they were blocked away from 40 yards out. And Cagliari have bought a bit of possession recently. They're up to 35% in that statistic. The ball in midfield with Cagliari though, who look forward towards Mendy, takes a deflection and it goes out of play for a throw-in. I mean, it's got to be, can't be long before Atalanta make a substitution here. They're really struggling. This 3 at the back system they're playing hasn't really worked at all. In fact, the 4 at the back that Cagliari are playing looks incredibly solid as they win the ball back and pump it forward. Here's Mendy, the goal scorer. He's able to play it back to Folorenzo, who's got an opening for Obert down the left. Obert's crossing is bundled at the front post. It was Martin Darun there who looked to clear it, got it all wrong. And the ball ran inside his 6-yard box, but Marco Kaneshi alert to it and able to come out and collect it. And he's played the ball forward and started an attack here for Atalanta, who play it into the centre circle and, of course, lose the ball immediately. Here's Adopo for Cagliari. He looks backwards to Zepedro. And now Yerimina across to Juan Rodriguez, who looks forward and loses the ball, but Atalanta can't control it, and it's a throw into Cagliari inside their own half, which will be taken by Adam Obert, who looks long down the left. It bobbles around and is headed upwards towards Folorenzo, who brings it down on his chest. Folorenzo to Esposito. The header flicked onwards, and Atalanta can only flick it out of play in their defensive half. It does take a deflection though, says the assistant referee. And Atalanta have been given the throw-in through Raul Bellanova, who's been playing in this right wing-back position, but he's not really got forward yet, and he's given the ball away immediately. Here's Esposito, who can't quite make the run forward, and Atalanta win it back deep through Scalvini, who plays it across to Pasalic. Here's Kolasinac, who's got Zappacosta to his left. Now the white shirts pile forward. Here's Raspadori on the left-hand side. Back it goes to Zappacosta, who's made the run. Looks to cut it across, can't do so. Is prodded away at the front post. And it's Cagliari now who have to come forward. Into the centre of the park to Mendy. But Atalanta win it back through Scalvini. And now every white shirt is in the red and blue half as the ball's played down the right. De Catalera looks to get on the end of it. Plays it out to Bellanova, but the pass a poor one. And Cagliari have an advantage as they run forward. Foul deep inside their own half as Mendy picks the ball up just on the halfway line. Folorenzo looks backwards to his left back Obert, who's the player fouled earlier, and he looks back to Elia Capil in blue, the goalkeeper. Here's Yerimina, who's had a few battles with Scamacca early on. It's Scamacca who brings the press, and Mina just plays it out to Pedro, who looks long and can't find a red or blue shirt, and it rolls straight through to Kolasinac, who immediately looks long and finds Darun, the central midfielder. Here's De Catalera, who's bundled to the ground, 28 yards from goal. The opposition captain, Diola, brought him down. He holds his knee. He doesn't look to be in pain, but he has one inside, an attacking free kick, 28 yards from goal. Diola just stuck a boot out to try and make the challenge. Indeed, all he did was catch the knee of De Catalera, and Atalanta finally have an opportunity to record a shot on target, you'd feel. 28 yards from goal, slightly to the right-hand side. A really good crossing opportunity, but potential for the shot too. In it comes towards the back post. It's a good delivery, off ahead and over the top of the crossbar and out for a goal kick. Well, the ball was played in by Raspadori, and actually it should probably have been a corner. It came off the head of the centre-back, Beret Jimsiti, the Albanian, but I think it took a knock off Juan Rodriguez, the defender, on the way through. But the referee doesn't agree, and out it goes for a goal kick, which is taken long towards Paul Mendy, who scored 2 already in this one on his first start for the club. Down at the wrong end of the table, and they've had to play the ball all the way back to the goalkeeper Elia Capil, who get them started again with a short pass out to Juan Rodriguez. Rodriguez, with his left boot, hooks that ball forward and into the Atalanta half. It's flicked on by Mendy, but Esposito's run slightly too quick, and that ball cleared by Atalanta down the right-hand side, but they give away a free kick inside the Cagliari half. Scamacca, once again, has given away the foul. That's 4 or 5 for him in the early stages here. Lots of pushing and shoving, but actually you feel he's the player who's most able to get his side back into this game, as the free kick's taken long and straight to Marco Canesci, the Atalanta goalkeeper, and they look to come forward with it with Kolasinac. They've shown more urgency in the last 10 minutes or so, but they need to show much more attacking impetus. They need to show some creativity, some flair, because at the moment it's all too predictable. As Darun picks the ball up, he plays it back to Jimsiti, who strokes it to his left to Zappacosta, who must have had the most touches on the field of any player. He must have given the ball away the most of any player too. Atalanta with the ball in the centre circle. Scamacca makes a run forward, but he doesn't receive the ball. Instead they go to Bellanova, and now De Catalera, who exchanges a 1-2 with Bellanova, who has it over on this right hand side now. Back it goes this time to Darun. Darun into De Catalera. Out to the right it goes this time, where Scalvini is waiting. He looks to shoot with his left boot, instead plays it across to his Kolasinac with his right boot. Here's Pasalic inside to Scamacca, who can edge away from goal with it, but he's got no option forwards, and he's given the ball away but wins a free kick 40 yards from goal. He was being forced backwards with every stride by Paul Mendy, and Scamacca ran from the penalty spot almost into his own half. And as Scamacca made that run, his shirt was just being tugged. In fact, Yerry Mina, I think it was, who got an arm on him and just pulled him to the ground. And Atalanta have a free kick, which they take down the right-hand side to Bellanova. Whipped in towards the back post, headed away by Cagliari, who've looked defensively solid in the opening 25 minutes here. They lead by 2-0. Atalanta building momentum as they play the ball to Scalvini, who's high up the field, the right centre half. Bellanova makes a run forward, but the ball can't find him, and Cagliari come away with it, and Mendy is bundled to the ground, but no foul, says the referee, and it will be a throw-in to Atalanta. Quarter of the way inside their own half, and Bellanova takes it backwards all the way back to Jimsiti, the Albanian, who's 33 years old, making his 32nd appearance of the season. And all he can do is play it back out to Zappacosta, who knocks it inside to Kolasinac. Here's Jimsiti again. Forward to De Catalera, the Belgian, who's got a runner on his right in Bellanova. Bellanova goes to ground. Assistant referee puts his flag up for a throw-in. Bellanova wants a free kick. Cagliari will get the ball back. Bellanova there, well, he was totally fouled. He twisted his body to beat his marker Obet, who stuck a boot in, caught his ankle, and Bellanova should have won a free kick next to the corner flag, but instead it's a throw in to Cagliari, which is taken forward and long and in towards Folorencio, but there's a player down off the ball. This time it's Gaetano. And Esposito actually was a player caught. Gaetano went down, but Esposito was kicked, and it's Esposito who's won the free kick. I'm not sure why Gaetano was down, but the referee, Juan Luca Sacchi, once again having to have an argument with Martin Darun. Already in this match, Sacchi has had to make 4 or 5 decisions. Now he's telling Darun that his team must stop fouling, or he's going to bring out the yellow card. So Cagliari, who lead by 2-0, take the free kick long. It's bundled around, and Atalanta think they've won it back, but instead Yerry Mina wins it back for Cagliari, and is able to play it out to Pedro, the right back. Forward he goes, looking for Esposito, who hadn't made the run, and Atalanta indeed win it back deep inside their own half. And this match, really, apart from those 2 goals in the opening 7 minutes from Paul Mendy, has lacked any impetus, any attacking flair. And Atalanta now looking to create some as they come forward with De Catalera. Here's Bellanova. Bellanova stands static and is able to play a ball through to Scalvini. Scalvini out, and that ball's given away, and Paul Mendy might be away here as he looks for his hat-trick down this left-hand side. He cuts back and beats his man, still with Mendy. Forward he goes to Foloruncho, who plays the ball down the right-hand side. Here's Adopo, tries to square it, can't quite square it. Excellent defensive tackle from Kolasinac, who prevents Cagliari having a tap-in the centre of the box. Paul Mendy did really well there to hold the ball up. He sprinted forward as far as he could, held the ball up, and played it into space for Michel Adopo to run onto. And Cagliari will be wondering how they haven't got a third there. 29 minutes gone, it remains Cagliari 2, Atalanta 0. And it's the visitors with the ball on the left-hand side. Here's Pasalic and Darun edging into the opposition half. Forward he goes this time, and he's able to find De Catalera, who plays it to the right to Bellanova. Back to Darun, the captain, who finds Pasalic, and De Catalera again, who loses the ball. And once again, Cagliari have the chance to attack on the break through Esposito, who looks for the run of Adam Obert. But that ball lacked power, and through it goes to Kaneshi. The angle just wrong on that. And it's those home supporters who are singing, who are cheering. This could be a big result for them. Their 9th win of the season, only half an hour gone. But they're 2 goals ahead inside 7 minutes. And really they've limited the opportunities that Atalanta have been able to have. Here's Pasalic to Zappacosta, who edges forward with it and plays a ball into Raspadori. Zappacosta again in the sunlight on the far side of the pitch, gives the ball away, and Esposito can try and come away with it. He's completely boxed in, but is able to find Adopo, who launches one forward towards Esposito, who can't quite make the run, and out it goes for a throw-in after the clearance from Kolasinac, the Bosnian and Herzegovinian player, who plays at left centre-back, part of the squad that knocks Italy out of World Cup contention in that playoff. Kolasinac yet to score this season, just his 18th appearance. And it is a throw-in to Cagliari, which is taken short into the centre of the park, where Scamacca is waiting. He can't bring it under control, and here come Atalanta with Scamacca, who cuts back inside his own half and just gives the ball away to Obert. And it's that quality that's been missing from Atalanta as Cagliari launch the ball forward and straight into the arms of Kaneshi in goal. Bellanova will come away with it for Atalanta. Here is Darun. Darun inside his own half, brings it towards opposition territory, and just as he gets there, turns around and passes it back deep into his own half to Kolasinac, who edges forward and finds Pasalic. Kolasinac again, and now Zappacosta, back to Kolasinac, and here's Jimsiti, who plays it across to Scalvini. And Atalanta have had so many touches of the ball, but so few of them have gone forward. Pasalic again, back to Scalvini, this time to the left to Kolasinac, who this time can bring it into the Cagliari half. Scalvini to Zappacosta, to Pasalic, ball inside to Raspadori, who looks to beat the goalkeeper, and finally they have a shot on target. Elia Capil tested for the first time, but he came out, made himself big and made the save. It was a lovely ball through to Giacomo Raspadori, who was actually a yard offside, but Elia Capil made himself big. The effort from Raspadori looked to go through his legs. It lacked power, it lacked placement, and Capil with an easy save there. And actually, he was a yard offside. That's been confirmed. So Cagliari with a free kick. They look long down the left and back to Obert, who looks forward and indeed has to play it across to the back to Yerry Mina. He just halted on the ball there, Obert. He had his boot backwards as if he was going to play the ball forward, and as the press came, he shifted it across. Atalanta win the ball on the centre circle though, through Giorgio Scalvini, who looks across down the left to Zappacosta, who can only find Raspadori inside his own half. And that's been the story of the game so far for Atalanta. Here's Pasalic to Zappacosta again on the left. Back to Jimsiti, who now looks to come forward with it and cuts it back again to Scalvini. And the Atalanta away fans getting frustrated by this. Here's Pasalic out to the left to Kolasinac, who looks forward with it and is able to find Zappacosta. Finally, they're building something, Atalanta. Here's Pasalic again. Pasalic to his left to Zappacosta, who's got an option inside, but turns himself and looks to play it forward, and instead goes back into his own half, where Kolasinac is waiting patiently as he knows he's going to receive that ball. He plays it down the left and forward to Zappacosta, who's got space to run into. Cut back. Here's Zappacosta looking forward with the run, but he can't bring it under control. Pasalic tried to find him, and out it goes for another goal kick. And that Cagliari defence, who in this season have only conceded 12. They haven't scored too many though. Only 47. Well, they're looking stronger in this one. Their goal difference at 12. They've scored 34, conceded 47. And they're really looking today to get a clean sheet. Caprillo's made one good save, but that defensive line have been superb. Forward go Cagliari, who give it away in the centre circle, and out it comes to Kolasinac. Kolasinac to Zappacosta, who looks back to Kolasinac inside his own half. His white boots play the ball to the equally white-booted Jimsiti. Here's Pasalic, back to Jimsiti again, and Pasalic again. Now Jimsiti again. Out it goes to Daru, who's slightly to the right-hand side and looks for a pass to Scalvini. The ball doesn't make it there, and Cagliari can only put it out of play for a throw-in. It was Deola who got the last touch on it. And Atalanta can try and build out again as they're under pressure from Paul Mendy, which they play around beautifully to Kolasinac, who looks across this time to Jimsiti again. Here's Scalvini. Scalvini forward to Bellanova. Bellanova's got a runner forward. He finds him. It's Scamacca, whose first touch knocks the ball back and loses it. Gaetano that time winning the ball back. And Cagliari look to come forward as they search for a third. Here's Juan Rodriguez to Yerry Mina. Mina to Zepedro. He's got an option inside. That's Adopo, who's bundled to the ground, and play can continue, can it? No, it can't. The referee, Juan Luca Sacchi, allowed the advantage, but Atalanta won the ball back too quickly. And that is a free kick to Cagliari, 5 yards from the halfway line inside their own half. It will be taken by Yerry Mina, who has it on that spot still. He's yet to move with it. Former Everton, Barcelona, Fiorentina and Palmeiras player, who eventually does get us back underway with a ball to Gaetano. Here's Adopo. Inside he goes to Folorencio. Edge of the box, shot comes in towards the far post. Well, it lacked any power from Sebastiano Esposito, who was looking to find the angle of Kaneshi's net, but actually the ball was just a yard away from him, and he swung his boot and could only just make contact with it, and he hooked it wide of the left-hand post, and it never really troubled the goalkeeper, who has the ball on the spot and looks long into the Cagliari half, but Cagliari win it straight back. Here's Folorencio to Gaetano, and now Adopo, who twist and turn and look to find an option forward. He's bundled to the ground and wins a free kick 3 yards into opposition territory. And he did well there, Adopo, because he had no option forward, so he had to play it backwards, and he did really well to make sure that he won the free kick, which he's taken back to Yerry Mina. Here's Juan Rodriguez of Uruguay, who gives the ball away on the halfway line, but Diola's done well to get inside and win it back, and he's found Gaetano, who looks forward. Header flicked on from Adopo, looking for Mendy. Mendy chasing down the goalkeeper, can't get there. And instead, Scalvini for Atalanta will pick the ball up and play it to Jimsiti. Here is Pasalic looking down the left to Raspadori. He's got Zappacosta for company on the touchline, who plays it back to Kolasinac, and Kolasinac can try and bring that ball forward. He finds Pasalic, still inside their own half. Kolasinac will bring it into the opposition half, and they'll play it across the central line to Jimsiti. Here's Kolasinac again. They're building something now. Darun edging forward. Back to Scalvini, who plays the ball between the lines to Scamacca, whose first touch is poor, the former West Ham man. And Atalanta have to look to build again from their centre-backs. Here's Pasalic, forward to Raspadori, who looks to cut inside. Here's Scamacca, his first touch poor again. This time he was looking for the run of Zappacosta, couldn't find him. And Cagliari able to clear into the Atalanta half, where the visitors will have a throw-in, which is taken short by Jimsiti and out to Kolasinac. Here's Darun, the captain, the player from the Netherlands, 35 years old, edges forward and plays it to De Catalera, who looks for Bellanova on the right-hand side, but it goes straight out of play for a throw-in to Cagliari. And once again, any time that either team have looked to play football in this game, nothing has come of it. It's been sluggish, it's been slow from Atalanta, and Cagliari are enjoying just defending their 2-goal advantage. Esposito looks to put the pressure onto Zappacosta, who has to go back to Kaneshi. But Kaneshi rolls it out to Kolasinac. Here's Pasalic out to Raspadori on the left. Still every white shirt inside their own half, despite them having the ball. Jimsiti looks forward. He's able to play it to Darun in the Cagliari half, but he plays it back into his own half to Kolasinac, who finally will look long and is able to find Scamacca on the edge of the box. Scamacca finds Raspadori. Raspadori looks for the ball inside, but can only find Scamacca, who looks from range and finds the back of the net. And Atalanta, on their first real attack, have one back. 40 minutes played, Cagliari 2, Atalanta 1. Scamacca on the left-hand side of the box with a lovely looping shot into the bottom right-hand corner. Well, they've been slow, they've been sluggish. Scamacca's tried this one-touch football all game long. It's not paid off for them, but this time it did. He found Raspadori, who looked to have a shot. It deflected off Yerry Mina, back out to Scamacca with a looping, lovely finish into the bottom right-hand corner of the net. And after 40 minutes, it's Cagliari 2, Atalanta 1. And Scamacca gets his 9th of the season. He scored 3 in the Champions League, 1 in the Coppa Italia, and that's his 9th in the league. He's got an assist to his name too. And well, his last goal before today came against Udinese 51 days ago on the 7th of March. But the centre forward back on the score sheet at last, and Atalanta really needed that one. And now you wonder what Cagliari are going to do. They've failed to create anything, really, since the 2 goals scored by Paul Mendy. They did have a chance to cut the ball across, but that was blocked at the near post. And other than that, they've been relying on sprints forward from counter-attacks, which have been defended really well by Atalanta, who look for a second here as they come forward, headed out of play by Cagliari over on the right-hand side. 2 on the scoreline, 41 minutes gone. Well, 42 ticks over now, which means there's 3 minutes plus stoppage time to play of this first half, which has had 3 goals from really 3 chances. Here's Scalvini, who looks forward and is able to find Scamacca. Scamacca, the goal scorer, to Pasalic. There's runners forward, but he looks left to Zappacosta. Zappacosta back inside, this time to Catalera, who gives the ball away to Zepedro, and Adopo can come away with it, and it's cleared long by Yerry Mina at last, deep into the Atalanta half, where Kaneshi will pick it up. Kaneshi out to the left to Zappacosta. Zappacosta straight into opposition territory, and Atalanta finally have a bit of belief back, given the poor performance we saw in the first half, and they were knocked out of the Coppa Italia semi-final on penalties. So they've had a tough week, but finally they've found something which can help them out here. They've got a throw-in inside the Cagliari half. Forward it goes towards Scamacca, who looks to De Catalera, who can't bring it under control, and out it goes for a goal kick. Yerry Mina with the strong defensive play to give the ball to Elia Capriel, the goalkeeper, who can look long. Well, Yerry Mina One of those really talented players who hasn't quite settled anywhere. And well, Scamacca, that's his 5th goal against Cagliari, the most he's scored against any team in the Serie A, ahead of Empoli and Udinese. But yeah, Yerry Mina had so much potential when he left Palmeiras for Barcelona. Didn't work out there, so he went to Everton. Then he went for a spell at Fiorentina, which he was good at, but didn't quite get the game time he was after. And that's how he ended up here at Cagliari. And he is able to help the ball onwards from the goal kick. Elia Caprile played it to him. He pumps it forward. And Atalanta have it inside the centre circle. They're looking forward here. Good ball into Raspadori down the left-hand side. Red and blue players piling back as Raspadori looks to cut inside. He can't do so, but he can play the ball backwards to find Zappacosta. Zappacosta to Kolasinac, who's got it deep inside his own half. Here's Raspadori again, edge of the box, looking forward. Inside he goes this time, but gives the ball away to Mendy, who can sprint forward with it. And Atalanta win a throw-in because Mendy pulls his marker's shirt. And Atalanta have it on this right-hand side with Bellanova. Cutting it across, shooting and scoring. And they've found an equaliser. Well, in all honesty, they probably don't deserve it. But Gianluca Scamacca has got 2 in 4 minutes. It's Cagliari 2, Atalanta 2. It's come from nowhere. Bellanova with the ball on the right-hand side. He's cut it across. It hasn't been dealt with by Cagliari, who defended astutely for 40 minutes, but find themselves behind here because they didn't react to the quick free kick. The ball was played down the right-hand side. In it went to Scalvini, who cut it across. It wasn't dealt with, and there was Scamacca to tap in to the far corner of the net. Really, Elia Caprile could have done better. He went with his legs, should have gone with his hands. And Scamacca's got a second. Atalanta have a second. And you feel for Cagliari, who thought they'd be going into half-time with a 2-goal lead. Then they just had the 1 to defend. And now parity pursues again. Cagliari 2, Atalanta 2, and we will have 5 minutes of first half stoppage time. Well, Atalanta, they'll find themselves very fortunate here. They haven't played well at all. They've really struggled to get the ball forward, but it just shows what a good striker can do. Scamacca with his 10th goal of the season, and Atalanta coming forward with it. Here's Adopo, who's won it back for Cagliari, to Zepedro. Back to Michel Adopo, the Frenchman, who's got an assist in the game already and looks to come away with it down this right-hand side. He looked forward, looking for Gaetano, but couldn't find him, and here come Atalanta. Into De Catalera, who's sprinting forward. He's got an option to his right in Bellanova, who's just kept onside. Bellanova pulls the ball across, it's almost bundled into the Cagliari net by Juan Rodriguez, the centre-back. He got a touch on it, and Elia Caprile had to dive down to his right to make the catch and to prevent the Uruguayan 20-year-old from scoring an own goal. Bellanova cut it across. Juan Rodriguez knew he had to deal with it, but all he could do was knock it down into the ground and almost into his own net. But Cagliari survive, and they're able to clear long and into the hands of Kaneshi. He plays it out to Darun, and the confidence is building for the visitors, who look to their right to Scalvini. His bright orange boots play the ball back to the Albanian Jim Citi, and suddenly the attacking flair, the attacking pace is back, and Atalanta come forward with Pasalic. Pasalic to Zappacosta. Zappacosta back to Pasalic again, the man from Croatia, who looks backwards to Jim Citi, but this time it's played straight forward and into Scalvini, who's made the run forward. He finds Bellanova on the right-hand side. Bellanova edges forward towards the edge of the box, cuts inside, plays across in towards the back post, headed away by Yerry Mina, but only as far as Pasalic, who looks from range to put the cross in towards Scamacca, punched away by Caprile that time. And here come Cagliari the other way, looking down the right-hand side and into Esposito. Back he goes to Zepedro, and Cagliari, who've not had much of the ball, will win a free kick deep inside their own half, and that's because Giorgio Scalvini, who's supposed to be playing centre-back, pulled the shirt of the opposition left-back. Cagliari get us back underway quickly with 2 minutes of stoppage time remaining. Here it comes to Paul Mendy, in on goal. Great defending in the end by Giorgio Scalvini, who got himself between the striker and the ball, and Mendy, who was looking for his hat-trick, fouls Scalvini. And Scalvini, who sprinted from left back, got back into his own half, got between himself and the centre forward, and won himself a free kick deep inside his own half and prevented the goal. It's Cagliari 2, Atalanta 2. 49 minutes now on the clock, and it's Cagliari who look to come forward, but they give the ball away in the centre circle to Martin Deru. Here it comes to Raspadori, into Pasalic. Pasalic to his left to Zappacosta, and here come Atalanta again, but they give the ball away to Yeremina, who goes back to Capil, who can look long down the right-hand side, and Yeremina wins the header, flicks it on into Esposito, and once again Cagliari thwarted by that Atalanta defence, who are able to play it out, and into Raspadori, who can look to bring it forward, but plays halted, and that is because I think it's Mendy who's down holding his hamstring, and that would be a real shame for the man who makes just his 6th appearance for his club. And yeah, he sprinted over to win that header and he's gone down. And Esposito there, well, he was through on goal and he left the ball behind him. He really should have done better. But you feel for Paul Mendy here, because this his first league start of the season. 5 appearances. This is 6th. He's got 2 goals in 7 minutes, one after just 17 seconds. And now he's being helped off the field, holding his hamstring. You really hope this isn't the end of his day. You hope this isn't the end of his season. Because at 19 years of age, you feel a star has been made in just 7 minutes today. Play will continue. He's still receiving treatment, but he's off the pitch. And Atalanta will see out the remaining seconds with Scalvini, who gives the ball away. Mina looks forward, finds the feet of Esposito into Folarincio, who can bring it into opposition half and play a ball forward. Looking for Deola, but out it goes for a throw-in on the far side. The 5 minutes are up. The referee looks down at his watch, but there will be time for Cagliari to take the throw-in and to have one last attack of this first half to try and regain their lead. So Pedro with the ball in his hands, throws it into play, into Esposito, out to Adopo. Here's Pedro again. Bundled to the ground there is Esposito. No foul, says the referee, and Atalanta will pump the ball into the air. And that will be the end of the first half. When Luca Sacchi blows his whistle. And what a lively first half it was. It all started after 17 seconds when Paul Mendy found himself in the box to head down and into the back of the net. His first goal for Cagliari quickly joined his second after 8 minutes. The corner was taken, forced a lovely save of Kaneshi, and the ball fell to Mendy, who could stab it home courtesy of a deflection off the back of Berat. Jimsiti, Atalanta, they struggled to find a response. It took them a long time to find their way back into the game when Scamacca scored, not once, but twice. And other than that, really, Atalanta looked poor. They had plenty of possession. They couldn't make much of it. But when Scamacca got the ball, well, he's always able to find the back of the net against Cagliari. His 7th against them, his 6th and 7th against them. And that sees it Atalanta parity at half-time. It's Cagliari 2, Atalanta 2. Well, welcome back to Cagliari versus Atalanta in the Serie A. Well, Cagliari, they were 2 goals ahead within 7 minutes, both coming from Paul Mendy. The first, a downward header, 17 seconds into his first competitive start for the club. The second came from a corner just a few moments later, where he stabbed home after a good save from the Atalanta goalkeeper. But the visitors fought their way back in, Scamacca scoring 2 on the stroke of half-time. And at half-time, it is Cagliari 2, Atalanta 0, and it's Cagliari in their home stadium to get us back underway. And they will do so via Sebastiano Esposito, who looks straight back to Elia Caprile, the goalkeeper, and he knocks that ball forward, and Atalanta win it back with a header, but can only knock it straight through to Yerry Mina. Mina looks out to Adopo. Adopo can twist and turn and find Esposito again. Back out on the right-hand side to Esposito, to Adopo, who created that first goal for Paul Mendy. And back it goes to Elia Caprile. No changes for Atalanta at half-time. Cagliari have taken 1. More on that is in a second, as Atalanta pump the ball forward and straight through to Elia Caprile. So that substitution, it was Mendy, who scored 2 early on his first competitive start. We saw him pull his hamstring late on, and he has gone off for Barelli, who has come on. So that means that Cagliari line up like this for the second half, with Caprile in goal, a back four of Obert, Rodriguez, Mina and Pedro, with Diola the captain, Gaetano and Adopo in midfield. Barelli and Esposito lead the line in front of Michael Ferraruncio, who plays in the number 10 role. The ball back with Elia Caprile, the Cagliari goalkeeper, but Atalanta receive the ball inside their own half as they flick it forward. They line up like this: Marco Canesci in goal, no changes for them. Scalvini, Jimsiti and Kolasinac, the back 3. But here come Cagliari, looking to start the second half just as quickly as the first. Chance on the edge of the box, shot comes in, Ferraruncio, and it's stabbed home. My word, they know how to start quickly, Cagliari. It was Ferraruncio with the initial effort, saved by the goalkeeper, and Barelli, who's only been on the pitch for 90 seconds, has scored. Well, Mendy did it in the first half. His replacement, Barelli, does it in the second. And Cagliari have their third. They lead again. 46 minutes gone. It's Cagliari 3, Atalanta 2. Gennaro Barelli with his 4th of the season. And it couldn't have been any simpler. Ferraruncio with a long-range effort, saved well by Canesci. But Barelli latched onto the loose ball and tapped it into that empty net. And wow, Cagliari, they've done it again. Barelli slipping one through. And after 47 minutes, the hosts ahead once more. Cagliari 3, Atalanta 2. Gennaro Barelli with the 3rd for Cagliari. Ferraruncio did really well. He danced his way through. Saved away. But there was Barelli to smash home. Well, that's 2 goals in the opening 90 seconds of a half in this match for Cagliari. 3-2 they lead, and last time round they got a second soon after. But Atalanta, they're showing a bit more intent here as they play the ball around the back to Kolasinac. So that Atalanta lineup: Canesci in goal, a back 3 of Scalvini, Jimsiti, Kolasinac. Midfielders are Pasalic and Darun, joined by wingbacks Bellanova and Zappacosta. Charles de Catalera and Raspadori playing central attacking midfield, with the lone striker Scamacca, who scored 2 already. He will lead the line. So 3-2 the scoreline as Kolasinac looks to bring it forward. Here's Jimsiti, who knocks that ball back, and it finds de Catalera. Now here's Pasalic. Forward he goes down the right to Bellanova. Bellanova looks for de Catalera, and Cagliari win the ball back but give it away straight away to Pasalic, who looks forward. Cleared away by Yerry Mina once more, who's been superb in this match as he finds Gaetano, but Atalanta able to step in and pinch that ball back, courtesy of Pasalic again. His pass forward is poor, and here come Cagliari. Do they? Not quite. He did well there, Pasalic, to be able to just pry the ball backwards to his centre-backs, and Atalanta are able to pump that ball forward and out of play for a throw-in to Cagliari on this near side, the right. Cagliari in those dark red shirts with the blue segments, Navy blue shorts and navy blue socks. Atalanta wearing all white today with light blue stripes which stop around the badge region of the chest. They resume actually on the back, on the lower quarter of the back of the shirt. They're in white socks and white shorts. Those white socks with two navy blue bands around them for the visitors. 3-2 the scoreline, 50 minutes gone. Cagliari 3, Atalanta 2, and Cagliari get us back underway with a throw-in taken by Pedro long and into the channel. He's done well there, Esposito, to let the ball run through, but he can't latch onto it, and back it goes to Kineshi in the Atalanta goal. He turns and plays it into Sead Kolasinac in the channel. The Bosnian brings the ball forward and turns and plays it all the way back to Jim Siti, who plays in the central centre-back position for the visitors. Here's Darun, who looks backwards to Scalvini, forward again to Darun, back again to Scalvini, this time forward it goes into Raspadori, and back out to the left-hand side to Kolasinac. Kolasinac inside his own half has got an option forward in Pashalic. Now Darun, the captain, can turn and play a ball across to De Catalera. Forward they come. Darun inside to Raspadori, who's dropped deep. He finds Kolasinac, who's sprinting into the channel. Back it goes to Pashalic. Pashalic to Zappacosta, and they're building here, Atalanta, as it falls to Pashalic, the Croatian again. He finds a pass forward and into the feet of Charles De Catalera, but he can't keep that ball in play, and out it goes for an Atalanta throw-in. Kolasinac takes it quickly, back to Jimsiti, across to Scalvini. Scalvini brings it under control and knocks it out to Bellanova. Bellanova across to Darun. Darun looks forward this time and finds Scalvini, the centre-half, who sprinted forward. He plays the ball back to Kolasinac, who just about keeps it away from the Cagliari press. But Cagliari eventually do win the ball back high up the field, this time with Esposito, who goes to ground and wins a free kick 5 yards into opposition territory, right on the touchline on the right-hand side, in front of Fabio Pisacane, their manager, who must be delighted with the way they've started both the first and the second half. Well, Paul Mendy scored after 17 seconds of the match. Borelli scored after, I think it was 87 seconds officially of the second. And they're looking now to do what they did last time round and score a second on the 7th minute. Forward it goes. Here it comes to Esposito. Out to the left to Borelli, who turns and plays a pass into Obert. Obert looks at a cross and out it goes for a corner. And this is the exact scenario that they scored that second in. It was a corner, 7 minutes into the half, that came in, wasn't dealt with, and was stabbed home by Mendy. Out to take it goes Sebastiano Esposito. He places that white boot ball right on the line. His bright yellow boots take 3 big steps backwards. There's pushing and shoving on the edge of the 6-yard box. Kanasheshi, the goalkeeper, involved, but it will be Esposito to take. In it goes, headed back towards the back post. I think it came off an Atalanta head. It'll be played back inside and out for another corner, this time on the opposition side. It was played in by Gaetano off the back of Kolasinac, and out for another corner on the opposite side of the stadium. And it will once again, in fact it won't be Esposito to take it. He's handed that ball off, and it will be Adam Obert to take it. Referee Juan Lucas Sacchi has a word with the players in the middle as the ball comes in towards the front post, and it's fizzed wide to the upright and out for a goal kick. Pedro with a touch on it. He sprinted past his marker to reach that ball. He hit it with pace, but he couldn't quite find the target. And Atalanta will look to build out from the back again with Pashalic. Here's Martin Darun. Those white shirts piling forward as that ball's played backwards again to Jimsiti, who's got space to play a ball forward to Pashalic. Pashalic to Darun. Darun turning and finding an opening to play the ball even further forward to Raspadori. Here's Zappacosta left-hand side. He turns back and plays it to the feet of Kolasinac, who almost loses it, but is able to side foot the ball over to Pashalic. Here comes Darun edging forward. He finds Pashalic in space. Pashalic back this time to Scalvini. Scalvini into De Catalera, who twists and turns and just loses the ball. He was looking to play it back inside, but he had no vision at all and gave it straight away. And here come Cagliari rushing away with it with Esposito. He holds the ball up, plays it back towards the centre circle. He's able to find Gaetano, who turns and plays it all the way back to Pedro, the right back. And Cagliari, who are readying 2 substitutions, well, they will look to build forward once again out from the back, but they can't do so. They lose the ball, and Atalanta will have it again with their central half, Jim Citi. Here's Pasalic, the Croatian, who chips that ball forward, looking for the run of Scamacca, who I think has just stayed on side and is able to keep the ball in play. Scamacca near the corner flag. 2 red and blue shirts surround him as he's pushed off the pitch. Referee rushes over. I think he is given a corner, has he? The substitutions are going to happen first. It was Yeremina and Scamacca who've been fighting all half long, and actually Scamacca grabbed Yeremina's shorts. Mina shoved him out of play, and that is why it's a goal kick. 2 more substitutions for Cagliari, their second and third. Esposito's day is done. He had opportunities but couldn't take them. Palestra will come on. Marco Palestra, who wears the number 2. So Esposito off, Palestra on. And Sulemana will be the other change. Ibrahim Sulemana, who replaces the captain Alessandro Diola. Zappacosta makes way for Atalanta as well in the 3rd change, but that's a change for the opposition. So Zappacosta comes off, as does Bellanova, so both of those wing-backs changed. Just wait and see who's come onto the field for them. The hugs all round for Diola of Cagliari as he leaves the field of play. Kristovic is on, Nikola Kristovic, who wears the number 90. And Zalewski is on for Zappacosta. So both of those changes coming in the wing-back positions as Cagliari look to play the ball forward, but out it goes for a goal kick. Well, the league table at the top might not be competitive. Inter on 79 points, Napoli in second on 69. Would be a repeat of the top 2 from last season. Milan, they're third on 67, 3 points ahead of Juventus on 64. But down at the bottom end, Pisa and Verona in 20th and 19th, separated by just a point. Big gap to Cremonense on 28, Lecce on 29, and then come Cagliari, who, with this 3-2 lead, would go up to 36 points and would be pretty much assured of their safety, you would feel. Here come Cagliari, who look forward. The ball with the centre-back who gives it away. It was Mina who gave the ball away, and here come Atalanta in towards the edge of the box. Well, it was a sprinting run from Nikola Kristovic with his first involvement, but it was pried away from him at the last, and that clearance falls to their right back. So Atalanta will stroke the ball around their back line. Kolasinac edges forward with it. He finds Pasalic, who looks to his left, finds Zalewski. Zalewski switches play to his right to Kristovic. Kristovic looks across to Darun. Darun halfway inside the opposition half as Pasalic gets on the ball and spreads it wide once again to Zalewski. Back it goes to Kolasinac, who exchanges a 1-2 with Jim Citi. Kolasinac again, Jim Citi again. Forward now to Zalewski, who's gone to ground, and that will be a free kick deep inside their own half. And it's Palestra who has given that one away. Number 2 just clipped the ankle of the attacking player. And Atalanta have it over on the right hand side. Lump forward, knocked back again. They can't quite seem comfortable on the ball today, Atalanta. As forward they come with Pasalic, who gives the ball away. Every time they get it, it seems to just require 2 or 3 touches to bring it under control, which is why they're struggling to get a foothold in the game. Zalewski looks inside to Pasalic, out it goes for a throw-in to Atalanta, which frustrates manager Fabio Piscin of Cagliari. As that ball's thrown straight backwards to Kolasinac. Here's Jim Citi. It's slow and it's steady from Atalanta. They showed they can play with more urgency in that first half. They haven't really done it in the second, and they have the ball deep inside their own territory with Darun. Forward he goes, this time to Raspadori. Raspadori loses the ball, and forward comes Adopo, who has to turn back on himself and play a ball out to Palestra on the right-hand side. He looks to turn back and spreads the play across the field and into Gaetano. Gaetano finds Sulemana. Sulemana looks forward but loses the ball on the edge of the opposition box. And Cagliari win a free kick as Atalanta were piling forward. It's Gaetano who's gone down holding his knee. Kristovic brought him down. And on the hour mark, Cagliari, who lead by 3-2, have got a free kick 35 yards from goal, but very centrally. In fact, it's been brought even further back. It's now 45 yards from goal, which makes it slightly more tricky. But you feel here that given their set-piece goals already, there are goals from the channels, they've got an opportunity. In it comes, out towards the edge of the box. Shot comes in, blocked away. And here come Atalanta the other way as they stab it clear. That shot from Adopo, blocked. And Atalanta can only clear their lines and find Juan Rodriguez. And now getting Mina. Mina back to Caprile, who will lump the ball high up into the skyline and out for a throw-in on that far side. Back with Kolasinac. Here's Dimsiti. Forward to Pasalic. Pasalic into the feet, this time of Zalewski. The young Polishman, 24 years of age. He spreads the play out to Darun. Here's Scalvini, right-hand side on the touchline. In it goes towards the feet of Scamacca. Scamacca plays the ball inside. Chance for Atalanta. Player goes down in the box. Kristovic down. VAR will look at that one as the attack still not cleared and eventually stabbed away by Cagliari. And Kristovic was through on goal there before he was brought down. Play continues, but I'm sure he will want a penalty there. Here's Pasalic for Atalanta to Zalewski. Zalewski back to Dimsiti, who spreads the play to Scalvini. Here's Kristovic, the man who went down a few moments ago, who can try and sprint forward with it. Out it goes for a throw-in. And it'll be interesting to see if VAR wants to have a look, or if they're going to allow that. The referee's decision, which it appears they have, as that throw-in was taken incredibly quickly. So no penalty for Kristovic, who's won the ball back high up the field. Launches it long into Scamacca, but there's two players down. I think the free kick's been given. De Ketelare involved. Dimsiti involved. It's Dimsiti who's gone in for the tackle. He's had his foot stamped on by Borelli, who's down holding his ankle. And that ball in from Scamacca, a good one. Yeah, there's no foul at all. It's shoulder to shoulder between Kristovic and Foloduncio. It was the central attacking midfielder, and there was no foul in that at all. So VAR with the right decision, as here come Cagliari forward, but they can't make anything of it. And goalkeeper Keneshi can come out and smash it straight out of play for a throw-in over on this right-hand side. 3-2 the scoreline, 63 minutes gone. Cagliari with the ball in the hands of Palestra, and he can look to knock it forward. From the throw-in into Foloduncio. Palestra again. Turning is Borelli, who can't latch onto the ball, and Atalanta will try and play out from the back here with pace through Pasalic. He goes across to Scalvini, who safely knocks it back to Dimsiti, who's got loads of space to bring that ball out as he plays it forward to Mario Pasalic. He looks to his right. Scalvini forward and into De Ketelare. Scalvini again. This time he loses out, and Cagliari might well be away here. Forward it goes and into the feet of Adopo. Adopo back and across to Sulemana, and Sulemana looks backwards to Juan Rodriguez, the centre-back from Uruguay, and he really takes his time to get the ball out from under his feet as he spreads it across to Zepedro. Forward it goes. Adopo can't get there. Here is the substitutes. Marco Palestra right-hand side, plays it forward and into Adopo. Adopo wins the corner ball. He looked to play it across. Jimsiti tracked his run and was able to get a foot in and block that ball away. And Atalanta are struggling here. Another corner for Cagliari, who are looking to make it 4-2. 65 minutes on the clock. At this small but wonderful stadium, the Sardinia Arena, which is at absolute maximum capacity today. Jostling in the box again as the ball's played in towards the back post, but out comes Marco Canesci to get two strong gloves on it and to launch it out of his hands and long down the right hand side, looking for the run of Zalewski, who couldn't quite keep that ball in play. And that will be a throw in on the far side, which is taken quickly. Kolasinac wins it back. He plays it forward and into the feet of Pashalic. Back it goes, this time to Zalewski. Zalewski looks to switch the play, but Kamaldeen Sulemana wasn't quite underneath it. He couldn't get there, and it will be a Cagliari throw-in with 66 minutes gone. The score, Cagliari 3, Atalanta 2. Luca Passati, the CEO of Atalanta, frustrated on the sidelines. He knows how important this game is. If they're to have any hopes of European football, it's their game in hand. So they really needed a result here. But at the moment, things aren't going their way. Here's Pashalic, across to Kolasinac, forward and into Zalewski. Zalewski looks to take it down the left channel and can't beat his marker. Well, that was Marco Palestra. And here come Atalanta once more. They have it on this left-hand side. They're forced to go all the way back to Jimsiti. Jimsiti's got Kolasinac for company over on the left, and he goes back to Marco Canesci. Canesci side puts it out to Scalvini, who looks forward and finds the feet of Darun. Darun chips one forward, looking for the striker Scamacca, who's on for a hat-trick. He couldn't get there. Raspadori could. He plays it inside, and two Cagliari defenders come across and win that ball. And out it goes for a throw-in on the left-hand side as Atalanta see it. It remains 3-2. But Pashalic there probably had an opportunity to win that header, but he couldn't do so. The ball is in the hands of Nikola Zalewski, who throws it back to Kolasinac. Here's Pacelli, in this time to Zalewski, twisting and turning, and he's able to play a ball inside to Darun. Darun down the left, puts a cross in, no one there, headed away by Mina. And out it comes to Scalvini as Atalanta look to continue the attack. They can't do so because Fiorenzo has sprinted back the central midfielder. He's won the ball and he's been able to clear up, looking for Barelli, who couldn't bring it under control, and Atalanta can look to rebuild from central midfield. Here's Scamacca. Scamacca only able to find a Catalera, right hand side, in comes the cross, takes a deflection, out for a corner. But Atalanta are now starting to look slightly more dangerous. This time round, the cross came in from Nikola Kristovic, who looked to just float it inside, but could only find the outstretched boots of Adam Obet. In comes the corner towards the penalty spot. No one there. Headed away with ease by Adopo, but only as far as that Atalanta back line, who chip one in towards the back post. Scalvini wins the header, tries to flick it inside, headed away again by Adopo, and cleared long eventually by Fiorenzo, deep into the Atalanta half. And Jimizzi has to sprint back to win that ball, and he plays it to Darun. Darun looks forward. He can only find Kolasinac, who's allowed to wander straight into the Cagliari half. And Atalanta play the ball to Kolasinac. Here's Scamacca. Scamacca with space, surrounded by red and blue shirts eventually. And he gives that ball away as Michel Adopo of France brings the ball forward. He looks for the run of Marco Palestra, the right back. but couldn't find him. And Atalanta chip it forward again down the right. Here's Kristovic, another Atalanta player down in the box. Nothing comes of this one. Kristovic for the second time, shoulder barged off the ball. 17 minutes gone, 3-2 the scoreline. And that ball lumped long by the goalkeeper Caprile. And you feel that Cagliari are just looking to hold on for 3 points here. 20 minutes plus stoppage time to go. And Atalanta, well, they're looking for the perfect opportunity rather than any opportunity. They're passing around patiently. They're looking for this stylistic game of football, which actually, against a team in a low block like this, is hampering their chances of scoring. They're not running off the ball, they're not making things easy, but you always feel that with Scamacca on the pitch against Cagliari, you never quite know what might happen. Kolasinac forward, looking for Scamacca. He plays it back to Pasalic. Pasalic across to Darun. Darun's got options forward, but goes back to Pasalic again, who plays the ball into the box. No one there, and out it goes for a corner. A bit of a mix-up between the Cagliari defenders. In fact, it's an injury. Juan Rodriguez reached for the ball, and in doing so, it looks like he's pulled his hamstring. As he reached the ball, he played it back inside, and it bounced off Yerry Mina, who immediately put his hand in the air to ask for medical support. And Juan Rodriguez is down, holding that hamstring. He just slightly overstretched, and he looks to be in some pain. It is a relatively hot day in Sardinia, 20 degrees, gentle breeze. But actually, those hot temperatures sometimes can make these muscular injuries all the worst, especially if you're cramping as well. And it looks like Juan Rodriguez's day is done. He's only 20 years of age, young Uruguayan. He is down still, receiving this medical treatment. And the scoreline remains 3-2. And it will be Dossena who will replace him momentarily. Alberto Dossena, who wears shirt number 22. And there's confirmation that Juan Rodriguez will have to leave the field of play. That's their second they've lost tonight to a hamstring injury. Paul Mendy, who scored the first and second goal for Cagliari, had to go off at half-time. It didn't hamper them too much though, did it? Giuliano Borelli scoring 87 seconds or so into the second half, his replacement. But now Juan Rodriguez has had to depart too. And Alberto Dossena will come on, and it will be 2 changes for Atalanta. Ederson, the first of them. I think it's Mitchell Bakker who's there too. We'll wait and see to be sure. So Kolasinac, the first to leave, Darun the other. So Darun for Ederson, Kolasinac for, I think, Bakker, as the ball comes in for Atalanta as they take that corner. But it comes to no avail, takes a deflection and out for another corner. This one over on the far side. Raspadori will take this one. As he sprints over. It was actually Kasunu who came on, Odilon Kasunu. In comes the second corner. This one can't beat the first man. It's prodded up and into the sky and out of play on the far right hand side for a throw into Atalanta. They take it backwards, they take it quickly into Ballanova. Here's Ederson and Kasunu out to the left where Zalewski waits. Zalewski into the feet this time of Scalvini, who's been all over the park today. Here's Pasalic. Pasalic into Kasunu, who looks across to Jimzizi. And now Scalvini again. He is able to find Scamacca with a long ball forward, who plays it back to Pasalic, switching the play down the right hand side. Here is Kristovic, back to Kasunu. He lumps the ball into the box, brought down by the chest of Scamacca. Out to Kasunu again, who play it down the right. This time to Jumisti. Still white shirts around the edge of the box. This time it falls to Pasalic. Out to the left where Scalvini waits. Scalvini looks to thread a ball through the lines, but once again it's overhit, it's poor, and it's out of play for a goal kick with 75 minutes gone, and you just feel that there's not really been enough from Atalanta today to deserve all 3 points. They've dominated the ball, they've looked really good in their possession game, but they just haven't created much at all. They scored twice, but even those goals really came from blocks away or half chances. When they've had possession, they've been sluggish. So they look to recover from heartbreak as they missed out on the Coppa Italia final. They're trailing by 3-2 with 15 minutes plus stoppage time left of this one. Back goes the ball as Cagliari look forward. Here is the Atalanta central half, which Zalewski's dropped into. He picks the ball up from the poor pass forward from Cagliari. Now it's Pasalic to Ederson. Ederson down the right, he finds Sulemana. Sulemana to Scalvini. Forward it goes, and once again, that final pass is completely wrong, and Cagliari able to lump it long and clear. And you feel that this game might just be petering out. Not a lot going on here. Borelli's down on his haunches. Cavani scored what at the moment would be the winner. Atalanta trailing by 3-2. They're starting to show signs of frustration. De Catalera arguing with the referee as Borelli is down holding his hamstring now. The third player to go down with a potential hamstring injury. He's actually just been pulled around as he's trying to win the ball, and he's gone straight down holding his hamstring there. His hand goes up. Well, I think the substitute might need to go off here. He replaced Paul Mendy, who was injured with a hamstring in the first half. Will he have to go off here? De Catalera's gone off for Samazic for Atalanta. We await the fate of Gennaro Borelli. But Atalanta will have a throw-in over on the far side, and it has been a change for Cagliari, and Borelli's day's done. Well, everyone who started in this left-hand striker position has scored immediately after coming onto the field. Mendy at the start of the game after 17 seconds, Borelli after 87 at the start of the second half. Now that change has been made. We'll see what happens. Well, it's a throw-in on the far side for Atalanta. They slow things down as they look to get the ball back into play, which they eventually do. Finding a pass inside to Ederson. Back it goes all the way to Scalvini, who's had his pocket picked here. They're in on goal, Cagliari, taking it round the goalkeeper, who gets a glove to it. It was that man, Andrea Belotti, who's just come onto the field. I mentioned that all of the left strikers have scored just after coming on, and Belotti with a golden opportunity there, and he couldn't even get a shot off. He was clean through on goal, one-on-one with Kaneshi, but Kaneshi came out, made himself big, and as Belotti tried to take the ball around him, he got enough on it and alleviated the danger. Here come Atalanta with a ball down the left-hand side. Raspadori in space, cuts it across, and it's blocked away off the goal line. Good defensive play again from Cagliari. And Marco Palestra saves the day, and he's able to play it out and long towards Adopo, but only out of play for a throw into Atalanta, who couldn't possibly have come closer. 12 minutes plus stoppage time to go, and both teams there really should have scored. But it's Atalanta with the ball, and you feel the momentum perhaps just starting to shift. Here's Ederson, switching the play out to the left, where waiting is Scalvini. He's able to put a pass forward and is able to win a free kick. Raspadori's pushed to the ground. So Raspadori wins the free kick for Atalanta, 39 yards from goal, slightly left of centre. Over it is Raspadori, who you feel has got a nice angle to put this ball in towards the back post for a downward header. Raspadori, who's taken all of the set pieces, should be able to put this into a nice space. It's exactly what he does towards the back post. Flick downwards, still inside the edge of the box. It's an overhead kick, which has gone wide of the left-hand post. Mario Pasalic tries the wonderful. The ball just behind him. He swivels his hips as he rises into the air, catches it with his right boot, but he can't quite direct it goalwards. He actually took 3 touches of the ball. The first with his boot, onto his head to create the angle to swivel around and hit it. But he couldn't quite find the target. Well, that would have been the goal of the century. But it's wide of the upright. And after 80 minutes, Cagliari continue to lead by 1. They lead by 3 goals to 2. But my word, Pasalic couldn't have come much closer. And it is a goal kick for Cagliari. And just as you thought the game was petering out, Pasalic tries that. And Atalanta win the ball back from the goal kick, and they go back to their goalkeeper, Mario Kaneshi. Kaneshi out down the right to Gimisti. He's got Edison forward, but goes sideways to his left where Giorgio Scalvini is waiting. Atalanta's momentum is building as they bring the ball into the Cagliari half. Here's Gimisti again. Forward it goes, this time into Kusonu. Kusonu looks forward and he's able to find Zalewski, who turns around and plays it to Pasalic on the edge of the box. He looks to turn and plays it back to Kusunu this time, and into the feet of Edison again. Edison, he decides to look left, and he's able to find the feet of Scalvini, twisting and turning. Out it comes to Pasalic, in it goes, and a good save from Elia Kapil. It was Nikola Kristovic on the end of this one. The ball threaded through down the right hand side, and Kristovic was there to hit it hard with his right boot. But Elia Kapil got down well, got a strong right glove to it, and put it out of play for the corner, which is swung in towards the back post and headed away by Cagliari down the left hand side. And Adopo will sprint away to pick that up, and he will scurry forward. He passes it into Gaetano. Here come Cagliari with a long lofted ball forward. Big chance here for Marco Palestra, who's got it on the right hand side, but he overruns the ball and out of play it goes for a goal kick. But this has become a frantic end to end match. This is exactly what we wanted in the first half, and finally we've got it. Zalewski looks forward into the feet of Raspadori. The ball goes over to the right where Kosunu is waiting, and suddenly when Atalanta come forward, they come forward with pace. Here is Kristovic, who's had 2 penalty shouts and a big opportunity to score, and none of them has come to fruition. He wins a throw in over on that right hand side. The ball in the hands of Samardzic, the substitutes, who cuts it back to Gimisti from the throw in. Over to the left where Scalvini is waiting. Scalvini forward and into the feet of Raspadori. Raspadori with a shot, but straight into the arms of Elia Kapil. And after 83 minutes, Cagliari continue to lead. They're heading a point behind Fiorentina in the league. Atalanta, well, they're going to be halted on 54 points as things stand. Their European dream fizzling out. And that ball is pumped forward and cleared into the arms of the Atalanta goalkeeper, who unsurprisingly rolls it straight out to Scalvini. Here's Pasalic. Pasalic forward and into the feet of Samardzic. Samardzic looks forward, this time to Kristovic. Kristovic across to Pasalic, 38 yards from goal. He looks across this time and he is able to find Scalvini. Scalvini looks further wide and into Zalewski. Zalewski tries to play a ball across, but there's no one there, and it will be dealt with easily by Cagliari and Dossena, who clears it up and into the Atalanta half. Still Atalanta with possession though. Pasalic edging towards the edge of the box. He clips it forward and it's headed away in the 18-yard box by Cagliari, who can come forward here. Big opportunity as they continue to drive with their number 10, Gianluca Gaetano. He plays it out wide to Palestra. Palestra across, no one there. And out it goes for a goal kick. Still the scoreline 3-2. But both teams now with a handful of chances. to give this game its sixth goal, and with 5 minutes plus stoppage time to play, we surely are in for a blockbuster finish. Here come Atalanta again with Ederson. Across to Pasalic, who moments ago tried an overhead kick. Here's Raspadori, edge of the box, goes to ground, no foul. And Cagliari once again can look to pile on the pressure as they win a free kick inside their own half. Raspadori catches the heels of Gaetano. Well, Raspadori has run further than any player on the pitch today, 10.4 kilometres. That's 300 metres more than anyone else. Almost a full lap of an athletics track further. He's been great today, Raspadori. Just his 10th appearance of the season. Obviously had a hard time of late, but he's back in the squad. He's got 2 goals to his name, and actually, on the balance of what we've seen today, he should have a handful of assists too. Belotti looks forward for Cagliari, but he gives the ball away. It's Kasunu who can come forward with it, out to Gimisti, who looks to break with a pass to Scalvini. This time they go long, Atalanta, and they go long towards the corner flag, and out of play it goes. Excellent defending from Marco Palestra, the substitute, who just sees it out of play. And after 86 minutes, that scoreline still 3-2. Both teams have used all of their substitutes. And we're seeing potential player of the matches between Mendy, Barelli, Scamacca and Scalvini. I'd say Mendy, personally, given that it's his first appearance from the start of a match for Cagliari, and he scored within 17 seconds. He scored again after 6 minutes. Scored 2 in 7. What a way to announce yourself to your home fans. Your first start for your club. Atalanta with the ball though, as they look to play out from the back with Scalvini. He looks across to Gimisti, who edges into opposition half. Here's Pasalic, the Croatian, who gives the ball away. And Cagliari come forward here with Sulemana, who drives into the Atalanta half. 3 home shirts forward as Sulemana's able to try and get out of his feet and play a pass into Belotti, but it's pinched off his toes by Pasalic. And here come Atalanta. Surely, there's got to be another goal in this one. Out to the right it goes. Ederson has it to Pasalic. Pasalic into the feet of Kasunu. There's space here to put a cross in, is there, for Samardzic, who can't do so. And it's won by the opposition, number 10, Gianluca Gaetano, who lumps it forward, and Atalanta win a throw-in on just inside Cagliari territory. But only 2 minutes plus stoppage time to go. Time is running out as they look for an equaliser and a point, which still probably wouldn't be enough to kickstart their European dreams. Zalewski can't keep the ball in play. He's forced to move backwards before he can take the throw in. He bounced it off of Palestra to win that throw, but he takes it quickly out to Ederson. Ederson down the right hand side to Samardzic, who cuts in onto his left boot and puts a cross in. A good cross, headed goalwards and saved by Elia Kapila. Superb save, diving down to his left to push it away. Well, a lovely ball in as Mina's down inside the 6-yard box and needs a stretch out. It was Scamacca who was looking for his hat-trick, who rose the highest. Lovely ball in, lovely header, but an even better save from Kapila, who got down well and could just push it wide of the post and out for the corner. 3-2 the scoreline, seconds to go. In it comes Scamacca with a header wide of the left-hand post. And really, he could have had 2 there. 2 open headers. The first one forced the save, the second one wide, and 89 minutes of the 90 are up. And it's a team in 16th in the lead who lead the team who are in 7th position. 33 points from 33 games starting today for Cagliari. They're up to 36 from 34 now. Can they hold on? 50 seconds left plus stoppage time. you feel there'll be a few minutes, maybe 4 or 5, as Cagliari head the ball out from the back. It's won back by Pasalic for Atalanta. The ball bobbles around as Edison hooks it back into the skyline. Flicked on by De Sena, and Cagliari able to clear out as far as Pasalic. Cagliari win the ball back up high up the field though, and they look to come forward in numbers. Gaetano finds the pass out to Obert on the left, but it goes out for a throw-in, and Cagliari will get us going again with the ball in their hands. Big instruction shouted by Raffaele Palladino, who knows just how important these points could be. 42 years of age, the Italian. And those 90 minutes are up, and we will have 6 minutes of additional time. And Atalanta, well, really they need 2 goals. They'll settle for 1. Belotti's down, holding his head, the substitutes. And this will just zap more seconds off that clock for the side who lead by 1. Gimisti and Belotti, they tangle legs. Belotti goes down. He's actually holding his upper hip, but I don't think there was too much in that one to warrant a free kick. But what a chance it was a few moments ago for that man Belotti, who rounded the keeper, but he just couldn't get the shot in. With virtually his first touch of the game, he set himself through on goal, but he just lacked the composure to strike home. And that would have been game, set and match. But we're into the 91st minute. His side still lead by 1. But it's the visitors who trail, who are coming forward down the right-hand side with Samardzic. He looks back to Suleimana. He looks across to Pasalic, and Pasalic can come across to Scalvini. They've shifted from the right to the left, and now they're going back the other way. Pasalic plays it out to the right, where Kasunu is waiting. Back it goes to Gimisti in the centre of the park, in fact in the centre circle. Here's Scalvini once more, out wide, forward it goes. Scamacca on the edge of the box, can play it backwards and look forward. He finds Pasalic, who loses the ball, and it's cleared back to the halfway line by Cagliari, who are so deep in their block and difficult to break down. Scalvini has it. He spreads it down the left, looking for Zalewski. Zalewski back to Scalvini, and it really is last chance saloon for Atalanta, who've got just 4 minutes to try and get 2. The ball on the right-hand side with Samardzic. In it goes, headed away, this time by Gaetano. Out only to Pasalic. Forward it goes. Still there for Atalanta, who take a shot. Courtesy of Suleimana. Well, it's Kasunu who's appealing for a penalty. It was Suleimana with a shot. It's gone out for a corner. The shot came in. It bounced off a leg, and it does go out for a corner. That is the correct decision. There's no shout for a penalty there. Not sure what Kasunu has seen. It's because the offside flag's gone up. That's why. He thinks it should be a corner. I think he's right. But the flag's gone up for offside. And it will be an opportunity for the visitors to clear their lines and to regain their structure. Belotti can't win the header. Scalvini knocks it back up with his knee. And here come Cagliari forward as they win the ball back high at the field through Folorencio. The ball over on the left-hand side is De Sena, who wins a throw-in. This match must win the record for most throw-ins. There must have been 30 of them. But this one looks a good one as it finds the feet of Belotti over on the left-hand side. He takes the ball straight to the corner and goes to ground, but the referee says no foul, and Atalanta can come forward with it with 3 minutes to go of the 6 added on. It's Scalvini, who already has an assist in the match. His bright orange boots bring the ball over the halfway line. Pasalic across to Kasunu. Here's Suleimana, back to Pasalic. Over it goes this time to Zalewski, left-hand side. Space to run into, can't run into it. It's an excellent block by Adopo, who puts it out of play for a throw-in on this near side, the left for Atalanta. There is a player down though, as play continues. Does it? No, it doesn't. The referee stopped it. Juan Lucasacci. Oh, there's a bit of argy-bargy on the sidelines too. Play continued too quickly. There's a player down holding his face. And the referee is being called over by the fourth official to deal with antics on the sideline. The Cagliari bench frustrated. The Atalanta bench involved too. And the red card's out. And both managers, I think, have been sent off. Well, this game's had it all. Early goals, big finishes, overhead kick attempts, and now 2 red cards. Well, Raffaele Palladino walks back into his technical area. I'm not sure it is the managers who've gone. I think it might be the assistants as play continues. Ball inside the box for Atalanta. It bumbles around. Will there be a chance for a shot? There won't be. The goalkeeper, Elia-Cagliari, comes out well. And he is able to come out and collect. And that just about saves the day for Cagliari with just a minute left of stoppage time. They continue to lead. And it was those assistant managers who were told to leave by the look of things. Remarkable. A big brawl late on. And 2 red cards were shown. Forward come Atalanta for one last push. 40 seconds of the 96 remain. It's Scalvini. They're trying to keep the European dream alive. Zalewski looks across. He's able to find Sulemana. Out wide it goes to Samardzic. Samardzic crosses with his left foot. It's a good cross, headed over the top of the crossbar and out for a corner ball. Yerry Mina with the big diving header to knock it over the crossbar. He had to get something on it, and he did. And this really will be the last chance for Atalanta. Raspadori with a corner, headed away at the front post and out for a throw-in. Gianluca Sacchi looks at his watch. He says there's more time to play, and it's going to be Zalewski to take the throw-in. In towards the edge of the 6-yard box, flicked on towards the back post, still there, and now stabbed clear for Cagliari, whose arms go up in the air. They want the whistle. Koneshi, the Atalanta goalkeeper, on the halfway line. He pumps it forward towards the box. Caplio comes out, he misses it, and here's a big chance for Atalanta, who can't direct it goalwards. The shot came in by Raspadori from 30 yards into the open goal, but it was blocked away, and still we wait for full time. The referee points to his ear. We've got a stoppage here. We're waiting for VAR to look at the incidents inside the 6-yard box there. A real scramble. Almost every player on the pitch involved. Raspadori with the shot off the knee of Elia-Cagliari. I can't see anything there that warrants a penalty. And neither can Gianluca Sacchi. He blows his full-time whistle. And 16th place Cagliari have put an end to Atalanta's European dream. They took the lead after just 17 seconds. Paul Mendy on his first start for the club, heading down and in. He got his second for the club just 6 minutes later. They were 2 goals ahead on the 40th minute when Scamacca scored twice to bring parity at half-time. Well, Mendy had to go off the field, on in his place. Came the striker Borelli. And Borelli, well, he scored just 87 seconds into this second half. And that was the pivotal goal that has seen Cagliari climb a point behind Fiorentina. They're all but safe for the drop now. Atalanta all but guaranteed to not be in Europe next season. It ends Cagliari 3, Atalanta 2. A dramatic game which became really intense at the finish. 2 red cards shown to coaching staff. But those goals from Mendy and the late second half, well, the early second half goal from Borelli, the difference between the sides. Cagliari 3, Atalanta 2.